All right. What about total of deals closed to get you to that?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 24. About 24.
About 24 transactions closed. Okay. All right, cool. Now, you said this will be the first time you actually hit your numbers. What do you feel is like the biggest obstacle? Where do you get stuck?
Myself.
That's actually a very insightful answer. Usually when I do these sessions, it takes us a little bit of time to get to that answer, but it's always the right one. Tell me more about it.
Yeah, sure. I think majority of my challenges is not having a system. Most importantly, not having the confidence when I first started out, having some success and then being knocked down with some of the challenges. And sure enough, it was dwindling, chipping away at my confidence, not having a consistent flow of opportunities.
So you feel like you have good week, and then you have a slow week. You're rocking it, you're disciplined, focused, and then you have shitty week. Is that about right?
I think, yeah, I think that's a culmination of it. Yeah. A lot of it just had to do with, I didn't have a mentor and I didn't have a good, how would you say, structure. I was kind of all over the place.
So you feel like you're kind of diffused, running at 20 different directions at a time?
Yeah, I think overall my experience, especially the past few years, has allowed me to take a step back. I took a full-time job because I needed steady income, and during that time, I realized a lot of reflection that I didn't have a structure, and I was flying kind of off the seat of my pants here. And that's when I found you this past few months, and I said, this guy knows what he's talking about. He resonates with me. So yeah, that's where I am.
That's the blessing and the curse of this damn business.
Yeah.
You have no boss, nobody to answer to. You do your own thing, which is great. The freedom is awesome. But it also means nobody tells you what to do. There is no set plan and projects and targets and deadlines and all that. It's all in your hands. And like you said, if you don't stick to it, you're going to go broke and you have to find another means to make a living. So been there, done that.
That's right. And, you know, prior to this, I actually was having a conversation with another mentorship program, starts with a T. And I realized that I didn't have the money for it. They wanted a commitment. And I said, there's got to be a better way. So they didn't really spell out what they'd offer, but throughout your YouTube videos and throughout just listening to you on the Expired Listing Plus and then the free presentation Listing University, I realized that this is what I've been looking for. So structure is primarily the focus. I followed exactly what you did for the expired listings, created the brochures and created every single thing. And I'll be honest with you, I already have 4 appointments. 4 appointments,
good for you. So I guess we're done here. Have a nice day.
Yeah, no.
I'm kidding. But that's a fantastic, don't you feel encouraged just by that?
Just by that alone.
Just take a little bit and implement it, you're getting results.
Incredible results. I wish I had known you. If not, I wish you had this in 2011 when I felt defeated in all the aspects that I tried.
I very much appreciate it, and I totally understand and appreciate what you're saying. But here's the alternative. Imagine we never met.
Yeah.
You know, something to think about. So I'll give you a little insight. I've been doing this for many, many years. The hardest part for me is not to teach you guys real estate. I figured that out. I got that down, how to teach you real estate. The hardest part is for me to show you that it's possible. The hardest part is for me to inspire you that you can do it. You're capable. You have what it takes to succeed. That's the hardest part. Because from that on, once you buy into it, the only question you're going to be asking is, well, how do I get there? How do I get to my 170,000? But to get to that point where your mindset is in, where you stop doubting yourself, that's the biggest challenge every single time.
Yesterday, I had an appointment and the son said to me, you know, if you can sell this house, then we're going to give you a $550,000 opportunity. And I said, I don't sell houses. You sell the house. I help get you in front of the opportunities. And that's pretty much what I've gotten throughout this whole mentorship is I get clients in front of opportunities and they ultimately sign the line and sell the house.
Perfect. So and there's no pressure. That's the cool thing about what I teach you guys is you don't need to manipulate people, you know, to push them, be arrogant or douchey. It's not necessary. All right. So if we could build a plan and a system and help you with the confidence, is there anything else you want to add to the list? Might as well.
Well, what would you recommend? I mean, obviously my confidence has been bruised. I think the systems I'm now understanding, I'm all ears.
All right. So how about we do this? How about if we could come up with a solid plan that if you follow and implement, you will get to your 24 closed deals? Would it be time well spent?
It would be time well spent.
All right. So I'll walk you through it. It's the same process I use. Same process I use in my company, and I've been teaching this to you guys for quite some time because it's simple, but it's very effective. It's a 4-step process. So we're recording it, so rewatch it, and you can do it in more detail, but I'll give you kind of a express overview how it works. The system and steps are the same.
Okay.
In order for you to get there, and in order for you to get your confidence back, in order for you to get the mindset in the right place, you need to be 100% absolutely clear what is it that you're really after. And I'm not talking like, oh, set a goal. Bullshit. You know, we've done goals, and how is that working out? It's more than just, oh, I have this goal. I want to buy a new Mercedes. Nothing wrong with Mercedes. I'm a Mercedes guy. You know me. We have a war going on in my family. My wife is a Lexus. I'm a Mercedes. But don't tell her. Mine is better.
Because I drive one too.
Oh, what do you drive?
I have a GL 450 2011 and a very small sedan at C.
Very nice. I am a GL 450 guy too. I'm on the second one. Good. Nice. Good choice. So we like each other already. So decide what the hell do you really want? How do you want your architect lifestyle to be? What is it that you're after? And so many people skip this, or they just kind of, well, I want a little more money and more peace of mind. Bullshit. Get super clear. Here's why that is the most important part of this process. It will give you the juice and the fuel to push you forward. Be absolute, and it's nothing wrong. I want a new Rolex. I want a new GL. The new Mercedes is actually pretty nice. The new SUVs they're coming out with. Whatever, new house. I want to help this charity. I want to contribute. Whatever inspires you. It is the level of inspiration you feel and excitement you feel that is the most important indicator that you're on the right track. So do a little soul searching. Put together a big ass list. I write it every day. That has become my habit, my thing. I just every morning write down things that matter to me. And some things stay very much the same. I want to take my wife to Bora Bora. We've never been. I think it'll be kind of fun. And sometimes I put different things on it. It depends. But every day I start with a very clear picture. This is what I'm after. And a lot of it has to do with you guys to help you, to inspire you, to teach you. So do that. Because that you will go back to, you will refer to, especially when the days will be shitty. And I promise you, you've been at it for long enough. There will be shitty days. It'll be boring. It'll be discouraging. It'll be stressful. And there'll be days that will be awesome. But this will create that consistency pattern. Because now you're not just after a few listings or a few commissions. Now you're building a lifestyle. And you're going to pretty soon, if you do this right, and I have a feeling you will, Scott, 170,000 is just a starting point. Because then you say, well, what else is out there? How much more can I do? And it's that expansion will come from your sense of confidence. Well, if I can do this, then yeah, I can do more. And I can do this, and I can do that. Does it make sense?
Hopefully it makes dollars, but yes, it makes sense.
It all revolves around money. Money will give you that freedom. So yes, money will buy you health and happiness and all that. It's all tied to money. So the step one is always the why. Why do I want this? Why does it matter? What am I really after? Be very clear, very specific. Put together a vision board. I'm a big believer in all those things. Write your goals down frequently. I do it daily. I have a big binder, nice leather binder Hannah bought for me. And I do it all the time because it's just like a muscle. When you go, do you go to the gym? Do you work out? Looks like you do.
I do, yeah.
Okay, same thing. It's not like you do it 2 or 3 times. Cool, I'm done. Biceps, finished.
Right.
You do it over and over and over. Okay?
Right.
So that's step one. Always start there. Second thing you're going to do is you're going to build a roadmap. Put together a simple, like a blueprint. A lot of overwhelmment, confusion, and stress comes from lack of clarity. When recently we went skiing to a ski resort, not far from here, it's about a 3-hour drive. And when we were leaving, the fog set in. And you know, one of those thick, heavy, wet winter fogs. You can't see shit. And the best way you can drive is you just check your lanes. You know, you check the right side, the curb side, and the passing lane. And this way you know you're in the middle, but you still have to watch for cars in front of you, so you got to go really slow. It's a terrible way to drive. I'm sure you experienced it.
Yeah.
Same thing. If you don't have a very clear plan, you're driving in that fog. And that creates fatigue, that creates stress, confusion. You just feel like fucking giving up. So we're going to strip all that and build you a very simple blueprint. And the reason I like this approach, it's because it's only 3 pieces, 3 moving parts. L.A.L. And that from now on, my friend, for this year will be your mantra. L.A.L, 3 most important letters that will get you to this. It stands for leads, appointments, listings. And that means everything you think about, everything you focus on, everything you put your energy, focus, money, time into has to be leads, appointments, listings. That's your business. All right? So what you need to know is we're going to work the numbers backwards. In order for you to close 24 deals, you need to get 24 listings, about 2 a month. Do you believe it's doable?
Yes.
Done. That's all that matters. Because now we're just going to talk about how. If you hesitate, we need to work on the mindset. Are you doing the path with me?
I got the whole kit and caboodle. I've only done the expired and the listings. I haven't done the path yet.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because the first month of the path, we focus on this mindset, heavy clearing all the limiting beliefs and subconscious breaks and all that bullshit. That's the only reason I'm asking how deep I need to go into this. So once you believe you get there, so you need to focus on 24, that means 2 a month. That's the plan. Then we're going to go backwards. In order for you to get, let me rephrase it so the math is easy. I'm horrible at math, you already know that.
It's okay, it's okay. Me too.
If you go on 10 listing appointments right now, motivated sellers, you sit down with them. How many do you think you're going to turn into listings? How many contracts do you walk away with out of 10?
Out of 10, 2.
2, okay. We have a massive problem. You're giving a lot of business away.
Yeah.
If you close only 2 out of 10, it's only for one of 2 reasons. Either you're talking to the wrong people or your presentation blows, or a combination of 2. So you need to immediately troubleshoot where the problem is. Either the sellers are not motivated to begin with, or your presentation is no bueno.
Gotcha.
I want you to be baseline 50% minimum. That means out of 10, you gotta have 5. We will work on it. You have the Presentation Plus. I'm going to release Presentation Plus 2.0 this year, which is just an update. The core stays the same because the principles don't change. It's based on psychology, not like people all of a sudden changed.
Sure.
If you study it, you should be up to 80% closing rate. That means you don't get 1, you turn 1 down, you list 8. Okay? So we're going to fix that. But for now, it is where you are. I'm not beating up on you. I'm just telling you that's a big problem because you're giving business away. Somebody else is taking listings that should be yours. All right? So in order for you to get 24 listings, if you don't change it, which is fine for now, we need to do 24. You need to go on 120 appointments.
Correct.
Right? Divided by 12, so that's 10 appointments a month. 10 per month. That's your target. As you're going on appointments, you're studying it, you're getting better, you're role-playing, you're practicing, you're doing all that, your presentation should improve. Your market knowledge should improve. But I think it's more tied to your sense of confidence than anything.
Okay.
If you want, I will have an invitation for you guys, especially my clients like you. I'm going to do a live workshop here in DC, 2 days, nothing but your confident communication. About 80% we're going to focus on listing presentations. You're going to do about 20 presentations in front of a camera.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Classroom.
When?
It's going to be in May 20th and 21st.
I'll be there. I'm from Fairfax, Virginia.
Okay, cool. So you can walk. We'll be in Tyson. So yeah, we'd love to have you. It's really intense. We're going to have cameras on you. We're going to talk about confidence, body language, presentation, asking the right questions, building trust and confidence. We're going to talk about pricing. We're going to talk about commissions, objections, all that. And
where do I find that online?
Yeah, there'll be a sign-up form. We don't have the sign-up yet. We just booked the room. It's really intense, but it's a lot of fun too. And you're going to walk away with solid listing presentation.
2-day training?
2-day full training with me personally, only 20 people.
Okay.
So we're going to work very intensely. You're going to be doing a lot of presentations, and we're going to do analysis on the big screen. So you see how you did that? And a lot of, you know how they say the devil is in the detail.
Yeah.
A lot of your presentation is nonverbal. A lot of the signals, and you're going to watch how it works and how you're going to react to that. It's good stuff. Anyway, so yeah, May 20th, 21st. Going back to this, you need to have 10 appointments a month. That's your target. Now, the last number you need to know, how many leads do you need to generate in order for you to get one appointment? And you may or may not know the exact number. Start tracking.
It's roughly 1,400. I need to reach out to 1,400 people.
So that's contact, but we're calculating leads that you have in the follow-up sequence.
Oh, I see. Okay.
What would you guess?
I want to say around 300.
It takes 300 leads to get one appointment.
Well, 300 leads. Well, I'm trying to break it down.
Here's how I define a lead, because this is where sometimes people get kind of confused. Lead is somebody, let's say it's an expired listing that expired yesterday. You reach out to them. Whether you had a conversation or not doesn't matter, but you intend to follow up in one form or another. If you had the conversation, that becomes an actual lead.
30. I just did.
30 leads. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
So
I had it divided by 12. Sorry about that.
Okay. So 30 leads to get an appointment. So now we're going to multiply 120 times 30. So it's 3,600 leads. Okay. Now,
yeah.
I can tell you right now the areas you need to focus on immediately. You need to work with better quality leads, high quality leads, high probability leads, because that way you don't need to generate that many. I mean, keep doing what you're doing. It's not broken. We can just fine tune it, tighten it up.
Sure.
Because once you start working with HBLs, it takes between 8 to 10 leads to get an appointment. On average, of course, everybody's different. The numbers are different, but that should be your baseline.
Okay.
Out of 10 leads on your follow-up, 1 should be an appointment.
Okay. Can you HPL high profile lead?
High probability leads, we're going to get to it in just a second.
Okay.
Because I'll tell you where these leads will come from. That'll be the third part of this. But
Okay.
first, know your numbers. This will remove the ambiguity, the I want more, the I kind of know where I'm going. Now you know exactly where you're going. In order for you to do 3,600 leads divided by 12, so that's 300 leads a month.
Correct.
Okay? Again, these numbers, one of two things will happen. As you work, and this is a process, so don't expect like overnight you're just going to get magically better at it. Of course not. You gradually will improve. And one of two things will happen. Either you can drop these numbers and still get the same result or better, or you're going to keep these numbers and your results will increase dramatically. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. But this is our baseline now. So in order for you to do 300 leads, and let's say you work on average 24 days, so that's 12 leads a day, between 12 and 13 leads a day. Both actual leads, those are you have some kind of relationship and conversation with, and potential leads. FSBOR and expired you reached out to, but you haven't had any answers yet.
Gotcha.
No response, okay? So this is your target now. 12 to 13 leads a day. That's a high number. That's why I'm saying we need to adjust it. And here's how we're going to adjust it. You're going to build 4 funnels. I'm going all color multimedia on you.
Sure.
So we're going to set up these 4 funnels where the leads will come from. You start with expireds. There are plenty of them right now out there, both new and old.
Yeah, I just did a download. There's a lot.
Hit them. Here's the secret. Multi-channel approach, MCA. Don't rely on single channel of communication. It is not just about calling. It's not just about visit. It's not just about mail. It's everything. Because certain people, as you know, you will reach on the phone. Some you will not. Some will pick up and you talk to. Some you will not.
Right.
So those you can call, first you're going to call. And really the main reason of the phone call is just to find out if they're real estate. If they haven't, doesn't matter what they say. I'm going to go with my uncle, blah, 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 blah. It's just noise. Statistically, you already know, out of that group, many will relist again. That's just a fact. Sometimes they don't even know they will relist. All right? Yeah. So the process is this. Call, text, email, visit, follow-up. That's the sequence. What contact management system do you use right now, Scott?
One time it was ProsperWorks, and now I use Copper. It's the same company.
Okay. You put leads in, you can set up sequences, right? You can mail them something, email them something, keep in touch, yeah?
Correct.
Perfect. That's all you need. So all of these leads will go onto the system, and they're going to go right through the funnel. Call those you can, text them if you can, if you have the number, fire off a quick text, email them if you have their email. What do you use as a lead generator? Where do you get your expires from?
The Red X. I've been with them for a while now.
Yeah, use the new one, what is it called?
Vortex.
Vortex, yeah. Okay, cool. So you visit them if you can, drop off the package, chat with them. The purpose of the visit is not to drop off a package. You could hire somebody or you can mail it to them. The purpose is to see if you can reach them at home and have a conversation with them.
Right.
That's your objective.
Call.
So you call, text, email, visit, follow up.
Okay.
That's the sequence. All of this is to have a conversation, to talk to them. Because you need to know a few things. Why are they selling? How motivated are they? How realistic are they? Are they ready to sell? Who are these people? Can I help them? So the conversation is essential there. Because you can't list a house over an email. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
Yes.
All right. So then the follow-up, you have it in the book. Just follow it. Keep in touch. Majority of your conversions from a lead to an appointment and a listing will happen through follow-up. Where most of the agents will give up. They don't have the library you have. They don't have the tools. And they don't have the persistence. Because it does require persistence. You got to keep in touch. Majority of my expireds started converting after touch 5.
There's science behind that too. Between 4 to 7, I was reading a little bit about that.
It's between 5 and 15 actually. The bell curve, it's 5 to 15. That was my sweet spot. Now you're maybe slightly different, but not a whole lot.
Sure.
So be prepared that it's going to take some persistence and some time. And I had expireds that took months to convert. It really comes down to just 2 things: how much they trust you and how motivated they are. How bad do they want to move?
Okay.
Those are the 2 factors that will determine how soon they will go back on the market. Some you will get, some you will not. Some will never list. Some will list with the same agent. Some will list with another agent. That one sucks, but you know it's going to happen. But if you do this in high enough numbers, you're going to get some. Like you already got 4 appointments, dude. That's rocking it.
Yeah, I got the listing.
Sweet. You're doing it right. Don't break it. It's fine. It's working. We're just going to fine tune it. We're going to improve it.
I wasn't prepared with the listing presentation. I winged the shit out of it, but they got it. They believe me.
You know, I'll tell you a secret about the best listing presentation. It is not a presentation, it's a conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was basically a conversation. And I think your presentation would have helped, kind of gotten me out of there faster, but I overwhelmed the shit out of them.
Dude, the objective at the end is to get the listing. You got the listing, mission accomplished. How are you going to get there in secondary?
It's a $310,000 deal. So your shit works.
Dude, I'm glad to hear that. We need to kind of tighten it up a little because you're still leaving a lot of money on the table, but you're on the right track. You're already seeing the results, which is encouraging, and I'm sure you feel good about that. So that's part 1. New and old expireds, work them daily. You will reach soon a point where this will not be manageable just by you. You're going to need some help.
I already see that right now.
Yeah. You're going to need help, somebody who can come in for a couple hours a day to help you with the admin part.
I interviewed somebody last night, brought him on board.
Dude, you are so on the ball. What the hell do you need me for? That's awesome. That's excellent. Yeah, get him up to speed on all that stuff that needs to be done where you don't need to be involved. And you'll see that there's tons. All right, second, FSBOs. Excellent opportunity right now. They are at the lowest number of sales since they've been tracking it. And I've been tracking it since 1981. When they started tracking in 81, it was 15% for sell by owner sales. Now they're down to 7. Which is counterintuitive if you think about it. With all the technology, all the tools, shouldn't it be easier to sell on their own? The answer is no. They need an agent more than ever. So work them. It's a different approach. You have the system, but the approach is different because the psychology is different.
Right.
You know, the expireds may be pissed off, but they still want an agent. Where with the FSBO, they don't want an agent, they don't want a commission. So you use a different approach. But great opportunity. Because statistically, about 7 out of 10 end up as a listing. Think about it. If you put 10 FSBOs on a follow-up, based on the statistics, 7 of those will end up being a listing. Not all yours, but some of them can be yours. Yeah?
So they follow the same funnel: call, text, visit, email, follow-up?
No. FSBOs is a different approach. FSBOs, you call or text or email, hey, can I swing by and take a quick look at your house?
Gotcha. Okay.
So you reach out first for a quick appointment. And it's a short 10-minute visit. You're going to put that time constraint there. That's key element of it.
Okay.
You tell them, I got to be out of here in 10 minutes. I have 10 minutes to see your house. Let's take a quick look. I have a couple of questions for you. I'm sure you have some questions for me. I'm not there to list your house. I don't even know if I want to list it. I don't know if I have a buyer. I need to see it first. Let me swing by and take a look.
Sure.
That's it. And then, just like with the FSBO, which is with the expireds, you follow up. That's where the magic is. That's where you build trust and relationship. Because like at the beginning, they all think they can sell it on their own.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They have hope, you have data.
Mm-hmm.
And data shows they all end up listing, most of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that's your second funnel. Third funnel is referrals. Since you've been at it for 9 years, you're sitting on a gold mine. You're sitting on tons of relationships. Same thing, I have data. US Census Bureau says 12% of Americans will move this year. So if you know 500 people, that's 60 moves. That's a lot of business. So the process is the same. All these are based on the same process. You nurture connections and relationships. Because people will do business with you because they like you, trust you, and respect you. In order for them to like you, trust, and respect you, they need to know you. They need to have a relationship with you. Just like you and I. You watched my YouTube videos for a while, right? Few months.
I'll be honest with you, I thought you were a goober. I was just like, who is this cat?
But see, that's how we build relationship. You watched my videos. You were kind of checking me out. And at first you were skeptical. You're like, the funny accent and the bad language and all that. Who is this dude?
Well, I always wondered. Yeah, pretty much. And you always would write on your board there. And I was thinking, is that an actual part of this house or is that a whiteboard?
It's actually, I set up the whole basement part of my house is my big office. And I have a studio set up here with a whiteboard. The whole wall is a whiteboard.
Oh, I thought it was drywall.
Yeah, no, it's a whiteboard. We get it. There's a company where you get this big ass thing and you tape it on it and I write on it. So second, FSBOs. Third, referrals. Half of your business, referrals.
Do they follow the same follow, call, text, email?
Nurture connections with people. Be interested in people. Referrals,
Nurture.
The main word there is connection.
Connect. Nurture connections.
Gotcha. Nurture connections. That means grab a beer with your buddies. Make sure you know all your neighbors. Yeah. Reconnect with every single past client you've ever had. Own your neighborhood.
I did that yesterday with a buyer. I dropped her off a gift for her kid.
Perfect.
She just emailed me this morning. She goes, "Oh my God, where have you been?"
That's awesome. That's what I'm talking about. Social is really good for that. Communicate with people, get to know them, post personal stuff. Build those.
And you inspired me yesterday. I went to Costco. It was like punchki or donuts or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And the donuts were cheap. I came back and literally I got them for me. And I said, I can't eat all of these. So I went through the whole complex of offices and I grabbed my brochure and it looked stupid, but I didn't care. And I walked through the door. It said no soliciting, but I don't care. And I said, "Hi, I've come bearing with gifts. I'm the new broker across the hallway." And she goes, "Is that for me?" I was like, "Yeah, this is for you. Take one or two and help yourself, client." And they took it and we exchanged business cards. And so it was good. You inspired me.
Very cool. That is awesome, Scott. Love that.
Yeah.
Send her a quick text. How are the donuts?
Yeah, I did that too. I did that because it's like the follow-up is key.
Here's what's beautiful about working with people like you, Scott. You're getting the concepts. You're understanding the mechanics, the concepts, how it all works, what makes the magic work. Because you see the pattern now.
Yeah, and through that, there's an attorney upstairs who does probate, and she was ecstatic that she was about to receive a donut. And she goes, "I need help." And I said, "What do you need?" a house burned down and I need to figure out how it's going to appraise. And I said, I'm your man. Let me set you up with my appraiser guy. And she goes, I would love that. And I said, and then let's do business. And I laughed. And she goes, we'll be in touch. And I said, cool. I sent her an email, followed up this morning. She goes, you're the best. Thank you for sending me that appraisal agency. I was like, it's cool.
That is awesome. That is fantastic. The secret is this. You promise something and then you fulfill that promise. You deliver.
Yeah. Yeah.
I promised you, if you follow my shit, you're going to help some people and make some money. I got to deliver. It's the same thing. Fantastic. Scott, that's brilliant. That's the secret to referrals. Now you're going to house them into your CRM, put them in one place, nurture those connections. That means you're going to go talk to the attorney. Hey, here's some Starbucks. You want to grab a cup of coffee? Let me see how I can help you. It's all about you reaching out first, you offering help first, you being interested in first.
Right.
Okay? Right. The business will come. Trust me. Make it about them. Make it all about them. Whether it's your neighbors, your friends, people in the building, your past clients, it's all the same. You can clean up doing this.
I think you may have said it in one of your videos, approach with contribution.
Yes. Yeah, you come from the heart of contribution. That's it. That's it. Okay. How can I help? That's one of the best questions you can ask. Because I promise you, a lot of these people will have something. And you'll be like, well, where's the business in that? It'll come. It'll come. Mm-hmm. If you don't approach it from a needy, gimme, 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 rather than, here it is, I'll help. Because you already know the way the universe is set up, what goes out will come back. Mm-hmm. If the goodwill goes out, plenty of it will come back. Way more than you can handle. Mm-hmm. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Yes. So now you have 3 funnels. We're going to add the 4th one. And that will be your choice. In my case, it was an open house. I would do a good open house every 2 weeks. Because I didn't want to spend a lot of money. I didn't want to have anything complicated. Like later, we would do direct mail. We would send out tens of thousands of letters and stuff. It works. You get responses, but boy, is it fucking expensive.
So I'm glad that you brought that up because I was thinking about what I need to do that one kind of hurrah to kind of let people know that I'm around. And I was thinking doing a block party, getting the HOA and some other people to push me to start formulating a block party for the springtime.
Totally doable. Absolutely. Keep it simple. I actually have a video. My man Mike, friend of mine, an agent in general area where I live, does that client appreciation party. He does event open houses. He does these things and does them really well. And I usually go and we chat and I help him set up and I film it. We do a video and stuff. So yeah, do it. Do it. It's not a bad thing. But you need something that's repeatable, duplicatable. Open house, you can duplicate every 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're right. That's simple.
Because you're going to combine. Let's say you do a little Facebook advertising, you do a little direct mail, then you pass out some flyers, knock on some doors, talk to some neighbors. Then you have a good open house, a bunch of signs, nice event, 20, 30 people come through. You have a list of leads you follow up with. 2 or 3 are really worth working with. Those are the usual numbers, 1 out of 10.
All right, I'll stick with the open house. I think that's
not a bad way to go because it's not very expensive. The marketing is going to cost you a few pennies, you know, do a little mailing, run a simple Facebook ad for it, and you can repeat it over and over. Plus, you start establishing yourself in certain neighborhoods. Now, I'm not a big fan of like geographic farming, but if you want to own a neighborhood, especially where you live, open house is a good way to go. And it doesn't need to be your listing, okay? Gotcha. So now you have these 4 funnels. Generating leads. You're working them daily. All of these need to be nurtured daily. The idea is all of these leads will go into your CRM. So you can keep in touch with them. You have one central place where all of them go.
Okay.
And you have sequences set up to keep in touch with them. The general rule is everyone other than your referrals need to hear from you every 14 days.
So the people that I've actually come in contact with, had a conversation, 14 days. Oh, that's right. Because in your video, you said 14 days. That's
14 days. After about 14 days, the FSBOs and the expireds and the open house leads, forget who you are.
Okay.
And so there's already somebody else gunning for it. So you got to be very persistent and consistent. Now with a good, hot expired lead, sometimes I'd follow up every day. And they would call me and says, what are you doing? That's aggressive. And I'm like, well, do you want an aggressive agent or you want a wimp? Do you want somebody who will passively sit on their butt? Or you want somebody who's going to go out and hustle to get your property sold for a good price? Who do you want?
Gotcha. So what happens after the 14 days?
Every 14, well, it depends on a lead. You're going to have hot leads and you're going to have average leads. Hot lead, I would contact every 3-4 days at the beginning. Especially
I'm sorry, you're breaking up. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Are we here? Are we good?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You were kind of choppy.
So if you have a hot lead, like a hot FSBO, I would follow up every 7 to 10 days.
7 to 10 days. Okay.
The hot FSBO lead, every week I would send them something. And you have a whole library in the FSBORINO. Everything you need is there. Just execute. The magic with all these happens in conversations.
Okay.
Just like with the attorney. You could be mailing them till the cows come home. You could be emailing them. Nowhere near as impactful as you showing up with a couple of donuts and saying, hi, just wanted to say hello.
Gotcha.
Conversation, human contact. Real estate is still a people business.
It's very much people business.
Yeah. Now, these tools like the follow-up and keeping in touch helps. Having a good email system in place helps. Postcards, resume, the brochure, the expired package, all very helpful. Mm-hmm. But the magic happens when you get to talk to somebody either on the phone or in person or over text, where there's an exchange of information. That's where you build that connection. Make sense?
Yes.
So you're going to build these funnels. You're going to feed it into the CRM. And you're going to have sequences to keep in touch with them. And you're going to intertwine that sequence with calls and videos and personal visits, interactions. So you can do the conversations. Because it's the conversation that will get you the listings. Yeah? Now, the final piece to this is to stay organized, to remove that stress, overwhelm, confusion, is you're going to time block everything. Time block. That means today you own your tomorrow. You're going to open your calendar and you're going to block it exactly the way you want it to go. Mm-hmm. What's going to happen when? What are you going to focus on? What are you going to get done? Don't kill yourself. Don't make it too overwhelming. Mm-hmm. I know you're an ambitious guy, but be reasonable. I'm not saying don't be ambitious. Just be reasonable so you can execute. So you plan your day, time block everything. Start with the most important things, which is right here. Getting leads, getting appointments, getting listings. That's your priority. Nothing is more important than that. Time block it. What do you use? What kind of calendar do you use, Scott?
I use Google's Business Suite.
Perfect. Perfect. Just pop it on Google. And then tomorrow, you're going to open your calendar and you say, 7 a.m. What do I have to do? 8 a.m. What do I have to do? 9 a.m. What's on the calendar? And you just stay with it. Okay. And this is where the juice we talked about at the beginning, combined with the discipline, will get you through the day. Because the way I want you to measure your success is, did I accomplish what was on the calendar? Not how many appointments you get, because you don't control that directly. So there's no need to beat yourself up if you don't.
So you said measure success based on what I.
Yes. Did you accomplish what was on the calendar?
Measure success on what I did on the calendar. Okay.
Okay. So if on the calendar I have, let's say, prospect expired listings for 60 minutes, that includes, let's say, make a few phone calls, send some text, and go visit one or two. I'm just making shit up, but you get my point. Did you do that? And it's very binary. See, the ambiguity is like, well, I kind of got it done. Make it very binary. That means very specific numbers, very specific times, where you can either check yes or no. So if your goal is, let's say, have 2 conversations with expired listings, that's a very binary goal. That's a simple target because you either had the 2 conversations or you didn't. Whether you get an appointment or a listing is secondary. You don't control that. But you do control your activity. So measure your success and your progress based on what you control.
Sure.
Okay? The goals will come. This will come. But you don't control whether you're going to close 24 deals or not. You control the activities, the steps to get you to that.
I like that.
So you don't feel stressed on a day you don't get an appointment where you say, well, fuck, I can't control it. But what you can do, you can review your week. You open your Google Calendar and go, okay, where can I improve? What is working? What is not working? What do I need to focus on more or less? Where am I wasting time? What's generating me leads, appointments, and listings, and what is not?
How did you word that? You said control the, I can look at the video, but control the activities that get you to 170, not 170 controlling your activities.
Right. You will not be able to control the number. your income.
Right.
You don't control that.
Right. I like that.
What you control is the activities that get you to that, the stepping stones.
To get me to 170. Okay.
And those are only the three. You're going to focus every day on getting leads, getting appointments, and getting listings. So like tomorrow, you come to the office and you say, all right, do I have a property I can list today? And it's binary, yes, no. It's not good, bad. It's simply yes, no. The answer is no, great. Can I get an appointment today with somebody who wants to sell their house? Same thing, binary, yes, no. Most of the time you have somebody you could probably reach out to.
Right.
Who can I reach to get an appointment? Because the order of business is, can I get a listing? Can I get an appointment? Can I get a lead? So you're going to start with listings, appointments, and the leads. And then the final thing will be, which most of your day will be spent, where how can I get more leads so I can get more appointments, so I can get more listings? Who can I reach out to using these channels who may be a good prospect, who may need my help? Who are my high probability leads?
So I think at the end of the day, I think what you're saying is the conversation is key. Getting in front of them and starting a conversation, hoping to build to a more in-depth conversation is key. And then the follow-up, and then the CRM, and then checking my day. Did I get what I wanted done to encourage me to take control of my next day?
Exactly. And then you're going to review once a week and you say, am I getting closer? Am I on track? Am I getting the number of leads I need? Am I getting the number of appointments? Am I getting the number of listings? Now, be ready. It's going to take a little bit of time to build the momentum. It's not going to happen overnight. So just be patient and stay with it. But this is the process. Because if you continuously focus your energy, your effort, your work, time, and money on getting leads, appointments, and listings, of course you're going to get them.
Sure.
Now, one more thing about the follow-up I'm going to give you that's going to help you. Don't overthink the content of your follow-up.
Oh my God. I wish you had said that before, because I about hung myself trying to put it together.
It is normal.
Right.
Don't overthink it. It is the fact that it's the persistence where they keep seeing your name, keep seeing your face, keep seeing messages from you. You keep popping up. Way more important than because at the end, no matter how fancy your postcards are, how beautiful your letters are, how fantastic your emails are, they're all going to get trashed.
Yeah.
So they're going to start saving them and cherishing them and showing them to their grandkids. You know what I mean? It's going to
might.
Yeah, it's possible. I doubt it though. But you get my point? They're going to look at it and throw it away. But it is the act of seeing you, connecting with you, that nurtures that connection, that familiarity and relationship you need.
Right.
Because if you do it consistently and then you show up on their social media, then they get an email from you, then they get a text from you. And now they're going to tell you, and I've heard that from many clients, is, man, we see your face and your name all over the place. That's the idea. Because that creates familiarity. And I need the familiarity to create comfort because I need comfort to build trust.
Right.
Makes sense? So it's the repetition. It's the persistence. Even though all of them, especially with expireds, will tell you we don't want to list. All of them. Be ready for it. That's just how it is. That's human nature. That's the same as you walk into a store and say, I'm just looking. 20 minutes later, here's my credit card. You know, it's the same thing. Why? Because they don't trust you yet. It's not that they don't want to move. Many of them do. That's why we're on the market in the first place.
Right.
But the idea is to build trust. So they can open up and say, Scott, this is really what we're trying to do. You know, we have a daughter who lives in Colorado, and we feel very disconnected from them. We'd like to reconnect, and the grandkids are getting bigger and older, and we want to nurture the family relationship. So we're thinking about moving there. How much do you think we can get for our house? That's the conversation you want.
Sure.
Yeah? Helpful?
Tons helpful.
Awesome. Questions?
On that aspect, on that front, no.
Anything else that you feel like we need to address?
Yeah, actually, what I'm currently experiencing these past two opportunities, yesterday, it's $1 million listing. It's 1.15 or whatever. And I got on the phone with him. He said, you go out and you find me a buyer and I'll pay you. And I said, listen, I have to interview you just as much as you have to interview me. I'm going to send you my brochure. So I drove out yesterday, put it on his house. He wasn't there, whatever. So how unreal you mentioned that you only want to have conversations with people that fit the scope of ready, willing, and able. That's pretty much how I got from what you're saying. I don't think this guy is ready, willing, and able, but the idea of listing $1 million property, that's kind of cool. But you know, the guarantee that you proposed that I love, which is a 90-day guarantee, I got me into the door to talk with him. So I think that's his hope. So trying to see how to manage.
Well, the conversation I would have with him is, look, I don't know if I like you, and I'm sure you have no idea whether you're going to like me. Okay. I'm here to help. My job is to put as much money in your pocket as humanly possible. That's my objective.
Okay.
And I have a system that does exactly that. I do that for a living. I've been doing it for 9 years now, helping people just like you.
Okay.
But in order for us to figure it out, if we're going to work together and if we can make it happen, is we need to meet for a few minutes, have a cup of coffee, and talk. You want to swing by my office, or want me to stop by the house and take a look at the house as well? What do you prefer?
I like that. I think that's a good approach. It makes me
now. Here's the problem: don't get attached to the $1 million price,
right?
Because that will lead you astray, and you're going to start compromising, and you're going to start cutting corners because you want that. Back off.
Yeah.
Back off.
Okay.
High status. Okay. Notice one of the first things I would tell him: I don't know if I like you. I don't know if I can trust you. It's a business relationship we need to develop. Selling a house is no joke. If your broker fucks up, you can go to jail.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a serious thing. And a good agent can get potentially seller more money. So it's a big decision for both of us. And I only work with nice people who like me and who I like, and I only list listings I know I can sell.
Good. That's what I'm going to use.
And if he's going to start throwing me all kinds of bullshit about bringing buyers and stuff, I'm like, don't work that way.
So I almost feel like just letting him loose but put him on a nurture campaign.
I'll totally follow up with him, talk to him. What you need to figure out, Scott, is not about the price or anything else. Is what is his why? What is his core driving emotion? Why is he selling in the first place? What is the problem he's trying to solve by selling the house? And how bad of a problem is it? Because the bigger the problem, the more motivation you have. That's the most important part. It's not about the price. It's not about anything else other than his reason. Because it's not what he thinks it is. It's driven by an emotion. Your job as a master communicator, which is what I'm teaching you, is how to decipher what it is. Because not only you will get clear, they will get clear. Because I had people who I would walk through this process in the 15 minutes, they will be like, we don't need to sell, we'll just stay here. And I'd rather have that in 15 minutes than getting the fucker on the market, marketing it, then bringing a good offer, and they go, no. And you're like, what's wrong with these people? This is a fantastic offer.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend months marketing something, and then they're going to get clear that they don't really want to move. Gotcha. So I'd rather do it through a 15-minute quick conversation, preferably in person.
Gotcha. Do you find
follow up, keep in touch. But what you're after is the motivation more than anything. Yeah.
Do you still use that 90-day guarantee for listings of that caliber, if not higher?
Really good question. Do you believe that if the property is clean and nice, well staged, shows really well, if the access is easy, it's easy to show, and if it's priced well with a full commission, it would sell in 90 days?
No.
Are you confident that you can get it done in 90 days?
Yes.
That's your answer.
Okay.
And that's the whole point of the guarantee. I don't want to dick around with a listing for 6 months, regardless of the price range. Now, yes, I understand there are certain properties, unique properties, custom homes, and high-end homes that require more, and you adjust accordingly.
Okay.
But the point of the guarantee is not to mislead or be salesy or anything. It's just to demonstrate your confidence. I'm going to get this shit done, but I need your help, Mr. Seller. We need to have the property in top shape. It needs to impress the shit out of buyers because they're buying a $1.1 million home. This is not a $200,000 condo. We need to have easy access, make it as easy as possible to show.
Mm-hmm.
We need to offer full commission so other agents are excited about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Thank you. And of course, the price. It needs to be priced well so it's attractive because buyers first fall in love with the price before they fall in love with the house. If they don't love the price, the house can be a castle. Nobody gives a shit. So where your expertise needs to be rock solid is what price will cause the property to sell. You need to know that.
What price will that property will sell?
We're not talking about how much the house is worth. We're not talking about value. We're talking price that will cause it to sell. And you as an expert really need to know.
So, okay. Well, then that answers my other question, which is, you know, going after these opportunities. I remember I read and saw the video saying that you only go after leads and opportunities that are in a good location. Sellers are willing to have a conversation. And what's the third one? I can't remember the third one. I guess that they trust me and like me.
They will,
so, yeah.
And that's up to you to develop that. What I would modify there is go after properties you know you can sell.
Okay, then I need to
in my areas, there were some areas where I wouldn't drive at night, you know?
Yeah.
But I could sell a house there.
Yeah, okay. Well, then that answers my next question, which we don't need to go over because it's near a train track and it's just bad.
It all comes down to just, does it show well or is it priced well? And yes, I had properties, there was a street.
Irrespective of the location and all the, you said, is it priced well and does it show well? But you didn't say anything about the surrounding areas that could have some kind of.
If you can sell it, every house can be sold. There's no such thing as unsellable house. There's no such thing.
All right, well, I'll go after it.
Every property can be sold. We had train tracks. There was a big street called Lambert in Whittier, California. And there were these giant train tracks right behind it. So you just take that into account. Here's the thing. If somebody bought it, because you had a seller, so obviously somebody bought it, somebody else will buy it again. You just need to take that into an account. And you as an expert need to know what price will cost this property with the train going 2 or 3 times a week behind that house, what price will cause it to sell? And how can I market it so that people are aware of it but don't think it's such a huge deal? Because if you see train tracks, you go, well, fuck me, train's going to go by 3 times a day and I'm going to rattle the whole house like that. The fact was it was only like 2 or 3 times a week.
I see.
But for a right price, every property can be sold, every single one.
Cool.
But you as an expert need to be rock solid on what is that price? What is that number?
Right. Do you advise, I know that you mentioned, you know, take an appraiser course, and I'm going to do that. Do you advise your clients to have an appraisal prior to putting it on the market?
Not really, unless it's a difficult to sell property where you're not really sure. And there will be properties like that.
Okay.
The reason for that is, 1, appraiser can be wrong, and you've seen that. We all have seen that.
Yeah.
2, they will give you a value, not necessarily what it's going to sell for.
I understand.
And especially if you feel like it's not going to be 1.1 million, this sucker needs to be listed at 900,000. If the appraisal comes in at 1 million, now we have a problem. And you're off by 100 grand.
Yeah.
Follow me? Okay. So there may be an instance when it's necessary, not always. Most of the time you don't really need it. You as an expert, that's what counts. Because if you can confidently tell to the seller, look, I wish I could get you more. And I totally understand how much you'd like to get for it, or how much you bought it for, or how much you owe on it. But really, it's going to come down to what a buyer's willing to pay.
Right.
And if we're off on price, they ain't going to come. They ain't going to see. They ain't going to make you an offer. They feel like you're not very serious about selling.
I see. So you're advising, you know, to take an appraisal course, not necessarily to use it as a tool, but more in terms of understanding how to properly.
Yes. You need to know things like, if I have 2 comps and one has a pool, what does that mean? How will that impact the marketability and the sales price of that property? If one is on a noisy street as opposed to identical home half a block in, how will that impact it? So you will learn all that. So it's more to develop your confidence and your skills in pricing.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you have, I looked through the listing package and all that. Do you have scripts too?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There are 2. You're going to get 2. You have a stack of these. It's called Core.
Oh, I did get that.
All right. So you have that. And the Presentation Plus has a whole bunch of them. I will walk you through.
I just got it the other day. Okay.
So you're all set.
Yeah.
All right, my man. Time well spent. Enjoyed it?
Yeah, I actually got to talk to you. That was kind of cool. You're like a celebrity to me now.
Yeah. Thank you, my good sir. We'll post it on YouTube. Now you're going to be a celebrity. People come to you and say, dude, how are you doing that? That's awesome. Anyway, reach out if you need help. Come do the path with me. I will send you more info on it. It's a really good training where we get to work together a lot. We're going to build these systems together. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff there. So I'll send you more info. Do check it out. And because you have the whole package, you get 50% off. It's only like $97 a month, something like that. So it's pretty
Thank
inexpensive.
you.
All right, brother. Have a good weekend. Nice chatting with you. Let me know if I can help in any way. I'm here.
Thanks, Coach.